Okay, so let's move on to some actual coding. I want to go back to the real basics, and let's go back to Dreamweaver, and I'm just going to open up a brand new page or HTML document. There we go, and we're just going to put it into code view. You'll notice that Dreamweaver has created all kinds of tags, so ones that you recognise, perhaps the HTML opening and closing tag here at the bottom, and we've also got a head opening and closing tag and a body opening and closing tag. But right at the top here we've got something called doc type, and if perhaps you've been coding using Notepad, then you may not have been including this doc type. You may well wonder to yourself, what on earth is this and is it necessary? Well, this doc type definition tells the web browser that's going to be displaying your HTML page what version of HTML you're using, and it also tells the browser where it can find the XML document, which is called a DTD, and you'll notice here that the link is here. Okay, it's a public document, and this DTD defines all the rules to do with what tags, attributes and values are valid for the particular type of HTML that you're going to be using. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how does that affect me? Well, if that doc type definition isn't there, or perhaps if you've misspelled something within it or it can't find the DTD, then the browser goes into something called quirks mode. Quirks mode is a browser manufacturer's attempt to make their software behave like it did in about 1999. So this is the era of Internet Explorer 5, and as you're aware, we're now up to version 8 on Internet Explorer. So if a modern browser encounters a page that doesn't have a valid doc type definition, then it thinks to itself, this page is probably written a long time ago, and therefore for it to be displayed correctly, I'm going to have to go into this quirks mode. However, if it's just that you've written it using current Cascading Style Sheet standards, but you've forgotten the doc type, then a lot of your styling may not be shown correctly. So it's really important that the doc type definition is included at the top. Modern editors like Dreamweaver will automatically include the most up-to-date and relevant version. But as I say, if you're using perhaps Notepad to hand code, you need to make sure that your documents do have this doc type definition. If you look at the doc type definition in a little bit more detail, you'll notice here that we've got XHTML and we've got version 1 transitional. The transitional part of it means that you can still use some of the older presentational tags that we'll have a look at later on in this tutorial, like for example the font tag. This has been something called deprecated, so therefore in newer standards it's not supported. However, it used to be supported in older standards. So this transitional still allows you to use some of the older tags. It won't throw up an error, but also allows you to use some of the newer tags. For this video tutorial I am going to be using Internet Explorer 8 to show how our code can be viewed within a browser. However, all of the popular alternatives to Internet Explorer 8 should also show your Cascading Style Sheets as you'd hoped. When we do come across slight differences between Internet Explorer 8 and other browsers, I will highlight them.